in the top right as the red Zerg. He is Reynor.
And his opponent down here in the bottom left-hand side, a world champion himself and a Jin Green Wings player for many years. In the bottom left, he's Rogue.
Sometimes overshadowed by the other guys on Jin Wings, but then ditto to those guys. Just a lot of very good players grabbing championships over there.
He had kind of a weird year, last year, didn't he? He kind of faded in the early middle part of the year, and then came back and was publicly saying, oh, I realized how overpowered Zerg was. So I said, maybe I should practice and win some stuff. And it was like, it was this weird thing. He kept saying this sort of stuff in interviews. All the Zergs were quickly planning to abduct him and keep him quiet. But, you know, he was coming out, and obviously, especially Swarm Host Nidus, we've seen him abuse a ton.
Yeah.
And, you know, Rogue, he's come back and he is in very good form. I think I underrated him a little bit compared to what we've seen so far today coming into this tournament. I said, oh, he's a bit hot and cold, you know, sometimes everything works out well and he looks like just unstoppable. Other times it doesn't all come together, but so far, so good today.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Armani, who unfortunately is already out, like, it just feels like we know we had our expectations and they weren't exactly shattered. Like, none of the rest of the players in this group were like, oh, well, they just played super poorly today. You know, that's understandable. It was just like, oh, well, the other guy actually just showed up. You know, like Sue showed up versus Reynor, rather than Reynor playing extremely poorly. So ended up being a very, very close group overall. And I do highly suggest, guys, to go ahead and use that multi-Twitch. Catch the other streams, because they're also equally important to check out.
There is not a moment of downtime when you're watching this tournament. There is non-stop, always something going on, often 2 or 3. I get a little bit excited, and as a massive Starcraft fan myself, whenever I'm not up here casting, I am watching 2 or 3 matches at a time, to the point where I feel like my brain's going to explode with the amount of just high-level Starcraft matches that I am witnessing. But let's start talking about this map. It is a quick third base for both players, so very standard play, Ling speed on the way for both of them. Of course, it's Eternal Empire. So features of this map, just to kind of summarize, it's a long rush distance, and it's a large map with very defensible choke points. So as soon as you're on 2-3 bases, you're really very hard to assault. Past that point, though, it does become a bit more viable. Because of that, we've seen Mutalisks incredibly popular on this map. Zerglings as well, taking advantage of just the many paths on this map once you get up to 4 or 5 bases to backstab and counterattack the opponent's economy.
Yep, Sue went for that Spire versus Reynor, and then even Armani tried to go for a hidden Spire versus Rogue in the bottom right of this map. So you're very right about that. Spire pretty popular, and that's kind of expected, but it is always a question of the timing of the Spire, and then, well, in some cases, people like to hide it, right? But first and foremost, with a ZvZ, we are checking to see the skill checks, right? You know, who makes a couple more Lings, who actually defends their third properly. Both of them get a Baneling Nest, but then both of them also Evolution Chamber and a Lair. Very close in build right now.
Yeah, this is just very much just pushing their way up that macro tree. Exactly the same work account here. The fast Evo Chamber going to allow quick upgrades, and it really just depends, you know. It looks like it's going to be Mutas from here. It looks like we'll see melee upgrade come in for both players. There is a chance one of them goes Roaches from here.
You think?
A very small chance.
Yeah?
It's a quick lair, but there is sometimes that variation of the build where someone just kind of goes, no, I'm just getting it for roach speed, +1 range. Obviously, it's very bare bones what you're defending with. No upgrade at all for Rogue so far.
Yeah, that's, I mean, Reynor starting +1 melee, as you were talking. Kind of what we anticipate from him. That Roach Warren could be a bit of a bluff for now, as Rogue will be eventually checking in on the natural. Rogue at a similar time. It's
almost like a just-in-case / fake Roach Horn for both of them, I kind of want to say. Because, yeah, Spire drops immediately for Rogue. And he's going to do a biggerling Bane pressure here, so he's going to start putting some action over onto Reynor's side of the map.
Did he see the canceled Roach Horn? It was canceled, yeah? I mean, it was just put down. He also would have seen no Jiggly on the Evolution Chamber, right? Which he's getting +1 melee, you know, it's a bit deceiving, but that's usually what you expect in a macro game. So are they both, I mean, aware of the potential for Spire? Because both of them are doing exactly that.
Ooh, the Baneling does save the Queen there to start things off. The Queen in the natural wall's under assault. Lots of Banelings finishing up. Great respect here from Reynor. Might need to make a few more. That stream of Zerglings and Banelings is not stopping. That Queen, she gets back to the choke point. She will keep herself alive for a moment longer, but we need more Banelings over here. Reynor did not do a good job of preserving more Banelings. Where's the extra morph? He's been way too greedy.
Yeah, he absolutely has. I mean, you expect even maybe some emergency roaches, as you were talking about, just because this is starting to snowball a little bit, and collecting Banelings when it's already snowballed at this composition can be very difficult to do. In fact, Rogue pouncing on top of the ones he's trying to make. Quick cancels there. Queen's trying to hold the line as Reynor desperately gets more Lings out here. He's about to have +1 as well, but will he have enough Lings to actually use it?
An upgrade kicking in after a lot of the fighting's over. Still non-stop Ling Bane on the way here for Rogue. More Banelings coming in, and there's nothing in the wall.
It was very close losing all of his Lings, but it might still be enough. One Baneling alive. He's trying to micro against it, and it will be good for the micro, but more and more Lings as Rogue continues to pile on the pressure. He's also grabbing 7 mutas behind this for Reynor. His fire might be done, but he hasn't actually started any.
The upgrade has finished now. +1 melee Zerglings, much better here in combat. The problem is Rogue just has so much more stuff out on the map. These trades have been so good for him. Reynor slipping up a little bit. When you see your opponent pressuring like that, you have to make more Banelings. But he was being too greedy. He did not notice the reinforce coming across the map. He thought it was just one wave. And now Reynor, under the gun of these quick mutalisks, is trying to build Desperation Corruptors.
We actually have Rogue starting at that +1 attack, so might not be expecting a Spire from his opponent. It is going to be a Spire from Reynor, but it's actually going to be Corruptors. He probably figured out what his opponent was doing just based off the amount of Lings. But only having 3 Queens after so many died, those are the replacement Queens. They quickly go down. There's no transfuse available. He's got to wait for the 8 Corruptors, and they will come out possibly to save a few drones here and there, but he has lost so much mining on that 3rd base.
Yeah, these Corruptors not going to do well. Does focus fire the low hit point muta, which is nicely done. The worker count still almost dead even, but there is a big army advantage for Rogue, and these mutalisks, of course, not able to only shoot the Corruptors. They can focus down these drones and causing Reynor a ton of lost mining time.
Every map matters as well. This is looking so good for Rogue, and maybe he takes this map, he can lose out the series, but yeah, maps matter. Reynor kind of chuckling to himself. That's usually a sign he knows it's over, but he's not willing to tap out yet. Maybe a lucky run by. He does still have that melee upgrade going, but he's just getting overwhelmed.
I mean, this was just a great way to open up this series for Rogue. Just a solid skill check. It's a very surprising and odd time to rally a massive Ling Bane across the map, and it did catch Reynor off guard. Reynor not able to get his Queens over there. Of course, unfortunately, not able to get enough Banelings up as well. And Corruptors versus Mutas, you can make it work, but being 2 base versus 3, having less Zerglings on the ground, even with the melee upgrade, this is an impossible scenario. You see Rogue here has all the mobility. He can pick and choose when he wants to fight.
I mean, what exactly does Reynor do? They're both supply blocking each other, funnily enough. We have Overlord Speed started.
Apparently he's decided Baneling drops are the way back into this game. I'm not really sure what that's about. Nice pickoffs here with the mutas. Take out a few of those Banelings. Oh no. The door is open. Lings in the base on both sides of the map. Chaos ensuing here. Desperation wall off those drones. Trapped on the outside. They are not allowed back in. But look at that. Reynor's economy is completely gone.
He's going to try and bust it with the Banelings. It'll barely be enough, but the Corruptors are back home. Not here. There they are, but they're a little late as the mutas take on the Lings. Reynor is forced to tap out, and he does not look confident about that.